Here's everything you'll want to have with you to photograph a solar eclipse. The first thing you're going to want to have are these 6 shades. They're solar eclipse glasses. You wear them while viewing the solar eclipse. Pretty straightforward. You want to wear these because staring at the sun can cause blindness. I don't know what other explanation there needs to be. The only time you're going to want to remove these is when totality occurs. That's when the moon is going to be directly in front of the sun. Totality will have a duration of anywhere from 1 minute to 4 minutes depending on the location you're viewing it from. Once totality is up, you are going to want to put these glasses back on just so you don't, again, stare at the sun and blind yourself. So the second thing you're going to want to have with you are solar filters. These are essentially just super strength ND filters for your lens. It blocks out pretty much all light except for the sun's light, but minimizes it enough where it's not going to damage your sensor if you're pointing your camera directly at the sun for a long period of time. Like your eyeballs, your camera sensor is also super sensitive to direct sunlight, so if you point your camera up for a very long period of time at the sun, you can potentially damage it by burning the sensor out, which is just a super costly repair, and just avoid it by putting one of these on there. You're also going to want a telephoto lens. We recommend at least 200 millimeters in terms of a focal length, but you're probably going to want a little bit longer. You can either achieve a longer focal length by adding a teleconverter to the lens you might already have, or you're going to just want to look for a different lens with a longer focal length. For reference, here's a comparison of what other focal lengths might look like in terms of photographing the eclipse. You're also going to want a tripod and a remote shutter release. It's definitely possible to handhold your camera to take pictures of the eclipse, but having a tripod is going to add extra stability if you're trying to use a slower shutter speed or if you're wanting to do something like take a time lapse of the entire eclipse. People often think that eclipses are only a couple minutes long, and what they're really thinking of is how long totality is. Totality can take anywhere from 10 seconds to 4.5 minutes. However, the entire eclipse takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours beginning to end. Because of this, you'll want to have lots of open memory cards and fully charged batteries, especially if you're planning on trying to take a time lapse or doing any sort of video. I'd recommend having at least a 64GB card, if not 128GB or more. Supplies are going fast, so visit us in store or online at natcam.com today to get what you need to photograph the solar eclipse.